Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast that wouldn't die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool would give up a chance for a 30% discount.
Hey, I found something.
What is that? It's a camera. Are you ready? Is anybody there?
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Hello?
This week, we are doing a movie I didn't even know existed until Aaron suggested it. It's called Polaroid from 2019, not to be confused with the short film called Polaroid from 2017, in case there was any confusion about
What's
that.
that one about? Is that a documentary about Polaroid?
It's about the rise and fall. No, it is a short made by the same director as kind of a proof of concept.
Okay.
Proof of concept. So that it's the same thing, but shorter. So there you go. Good times have by all.
I bet that made it better.
Each week on the podcast that wouldn't die, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's the latest?
Oh, I'm just exhausted all the time. I can't wait to retire. And since we didn't win the $1 billion, it's not today.
It's not today. I noticed you left the family or the sibling group thread today in a fit of rage.
Who has the energy? It's too much. It's all too much.
It's all too much. We have, people who know, we have 5 additional siblings in our family. We have a text thread.
And 10 additional group texts.
We do. Well, the Sibs group thread is supposed to be just, hey, how you doing? Here's a funny thing that happened to me on the way to work. It's supposed to be kind of light and fun.
And it never is that.
It takes a dark turn. And people are allowed to have different opinions. It often does.
You can have your own opinion, but I'm too exhausted to listen to your nonsense.
I'm right there with you. So, and people who've listened know that since the last election, I've been kind of dialing back my interest in the day-to-day minutia of the horror that is the United States in its current form. So we have some Sibs that are a little on different wavelength politically, which is fine. All I say is
there's a wing, and they're to the right of it.
They're to the right of it. So I just say, hey, my daily reminder. Take that shit somewhere else. This is a happy place where we can have happy thoughts and feelings. This is my. I don't want to be triggered. Is what it is. Go ahead,
dude. You have some members of the family that all they do is trigger.
It's all very triggering. So I just said, hey, mosey away.
Thanks for adding me to this group to provide me with information that I don't need, and now I'm leaving. And then they get angry, so they keep adding you back in.
So here's what happened. This is what, after you left, I went and created a separate thread called Angry Political Sibs.
Yes.
I added all the Sibs, said enjoy, and then left the thread. That's
But
how I
thanks
did
for
it.
adding me. And then I saw somebody added you back and then took you out again.
Those sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches.
I'm out. I'm out. I don't need it. I don't need it. I get enough of it just incidentally. You know what I mean? Now, make no mistake. I still have morals, values, political opinions.
Oh, do
I'm
you?
still voting. I'm not turning my back on the political process, but it's the day-to-day deluge of horror I
No,
don't need
it's
except on this
it's
podcast.
exhausting. It's
For real.
exhausting. We don't
Indeed.
have to have one-on conversations of the world going into the turbulent. Don't need it. I
Don't
have
need
so
it.
many things that I would like to talk about while I bury my head in the sand because there's nothing I can do.
I mean, on one hand, without getting too political, we live in California, which means California's got its own issues. I'm not going to pretend it's a paradise here, but at least there's some
It
things
is
we don't.
kind of a paradise, though.
It, comparatively speaking, but regardless, there's not much we can do. I mean, we could raise our voices, but at this stage of the game, it is what it is until the next election. So good times.
Until
Anywho,
the earthquake comes, cracks us off, and we kind of float away.
float out into the Pacific. Sounds good with me. Where do I sign up for that?
Let's go. Let's go.
Anywho, Aaron, give us your 30-second
Yes.
synopsis of Polaroid.
And you're wondering how in the world did I come up with this
I am
little
wondering.
gem?
Yes.
Because I live in a very niche world where I only follow Polaroid photographers, people who collect Polaroid cameras, anything Polaroid. So, of course, any movie about Polaroid or even had the word Polaroid, it's there. And clearly they licensed this little extravaganza. Clearly
We talked
it
about
smells.
this. Do
Yeah.
we know that? Do we know that they licensed it, or was this just a fallow period for Polaroid? What's the story?
No. It was a fallow period for Polaroid. I'm sure they could have used the cash. But they're not going to make a movie that's called Coca-Cola without Coca-Cola's consent. Let's just say that.
No,
So I'm going to easily assume that this was licensed. And it was at a hard time. It was when I think they were coming back. Like the other company had, the Impossible Project had taken them over before they bought the name back.
Interesting. I'm just saying, I could make a movie today and call it Circuit City, and I don't have to pay anybody anything. Or a movie called Toys R Us, and no one's coming to my door saying, "Hey, where's my check?"
I feel
There you
like
go.
someone still owns the rights to those, so they may
It's
be
possible.
coming back. That could be the only money the only 2 cents they're going to get, right?
They're coming right now.
So they are going to be coming for you.
Okay, so what's the plot?
And this is what I was thinking about the whole time, the plot.
Yes.
It's always an instrument that a murderer used. So if our guy hadn't been a photographer and was like a baker at Auntie M's in the mall, it could have been one of those big industrial beaters that was killing everybody. Or is it everything that a murderer used to own? What if you borrowed his toothbrush? What if you bought his hairbrush? Are you going to die by the hairbrush, or is it just the evil of the camera?
If Jose Ibert was also a serial killer, then you would steer clear of his hairbrush. I think
that big ass ponytail would come after you and strangle you. You'd be crawling around in alleys looking for trouble.
Does anybody even know who Jose Ibert is? Is that too deep a cut? I don't know.
My friend Tammy at my wedding went to the Jose Ibert salon, and all I was thinking was that probably cost a couple of $100, and it looks like you had your ends trimmed.
And that's probably what happened.
People with long hair, if you're going to spend that much money, he better be putting in layers. Things better be floating around, singing, something. I was like, oh, nice. Your hair looks nice.
Beauty school dropout. I want something like that going on.
Go back to high school. All right. Someone finds a box of cameras, her mother's cameras, takes a picture of her friend, and of course they die. And then she dies because she takes a picture of herself. Dead. Years later, unrelated, somebody brings a camera into the thrift store, taking pictures. She doesn't want her picture taken because she's seen some things. Everybody dead. Oh, it was owned by a murderer pedophile. No, it wasn't. That's my daughter's camera. What? Huh? Yeah. The end. It smells very Canadian.
It's
I'm not,
yes.
the way it ends, like the film is possessed, people are moving around, so Devil Dad is back, but you can control him by crunching up your Polaroid. It was all bad, and it was all full of stupid mistakes. If you wanted a camera with a flash, how about use one? I mean, you can't see this, TV people, but here's the exact camera. Do you see a flash? No, there is no flash. There is a flash cubes you can put in here, and they don't make sound. That whole sound you hear
Right.
is the sound of a flash warming up. So Polaroids have a distinct, they're loud as when you take a picture, but it's not that sound. They do this. I mean, you're not taking sneaky Polaroid pictures. It's loud as hell, but they don't use that sound. They use the sound of a super loud flash warming up.
Fair enough. Let's write this down. There we go.
It
Good
seems
stuff.
ding dong daddy, if you ask me.
Now, I was going to ask, when was the first time you saw this movie? But I think we know the answer. It was for this viewing.
Never
I'd
saw it,
even
never heard
this
of it.
shit. No.
No.
Now, but where did you hear about it initially? Were you just surfing the internet, or
You know, I probably saw it on the Ticker Talker.
somebody was sharing that shit?
It
That-
is
yes.
I either saw it on the TikTok or I saw it on the Instagram where I have all my Polaroid crap.
No, when you suggested it, I was like, not ringing any bells. No bells are ringing. So it was it was the first time watching it.
And Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah,
the
no.
Nobel Peace Prize. And I will say, watching it, it definitely had the vibe of an episode of Goosebumps. That's what it looked like to me. 100%. I feel like they made Goosebumps the movie, which they actually did with Jack Black. I believe he's in it.
Yeah, it was terrible. I went to actually saw that at the theater, and I was like, "Oh God!"
Oh, really? So the real Goosebumps movie was a piece of crap, is what you're saying?
The one that came out like 10 years ago.
Is Jack Black in it? I never saw it.
Who knows?
It could be anybody. Who's to say?
But I have no memory of it other than it not being that nice.
You say this movie is very Canadian, and I have to say, during kind of let's say a lull in the middle of the plot, I was
one of the lulls.
Well, it was filmed in Nova Scotia. When I discovered that, I'm like, oh, they must all be Canadian. So I spent at least 20 minutes on IMDb looking at each picture going, where were you born? Where were you born? Where were you born? And actually, not many Canadians in this. Only a few.
It smells Canadian. I mean,
100%.
And I can go on, and maybe I will, about what's wrong with this thing. You can't take a picture with a Polaroid in a dark room. Polaroid needs lots of light, especially when there has no flash on it. They shouldn't be. Why didn't they use the box camera that everyone knows that has a flash on it?
No can do.
That at least makes some sense.
No can do. Well, they take a lot of liberties with the history of this particular camera. I think they said it was only available for a couple years in the 70s. That's not true. This camera was around for like ages. So
it was the most expensive Polaroid at the time.
There you go.
This is like the technical one. You had to have some money to own this one. This wasn't just, hey, happy birthday from mom and dad. No.
Well, and you are an artiste, and your medium is photography. Oftentimes Polaroid
photography.
100%. So you would know. I would not.
So even now, I mean, I have to pay at least $100 at a garage sale or a thrift sale. But if you go online and it's all pimped out, they're asking like $1,000 for them.
I remember as a kid going on a school field trip with my Polaroid at the time. My mom and dad bought me a crazy Polaroid. It was like plastic or whatever.
Right. Little box
And
ones.
big, totally. And I would take pictures. And now you have to find a spot to store all of these pictures that you're spitting out all over the place.
Right.
I'm not a
right.
fan of the Polaroid, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, for just that
And
reason.
I will tell you, when I was a kid, I didn't like it either because it was expensive and it was 10 pictures. And if you're just shooting to shoot, half of them look like shit. So now it's 10 times as expensive. Now
Right.
you only get 8 pictures for 20 something dollars. So you're very careful. So now that I'm more patient and mature, I can usually figure out how to get a good picture out of it. But
Fair.
it's a different beast than of course shooting with your phone or even shooting, analog
The
photography.
35 millimeter. I mean, one thing I'll say about the 35 millimeter is that I remember there were times where you'd be digging through an old drawer and you'd be like, oh, I guess I took some pictures at some point. What's on here? It could be anything. So it's
Dude,
like a
I go to
surprise.
estate sales and there's always a half roll film. And sometimes I'll shoot it, but I have developed other people's film. Now, I've bought a few digital cameras and and they've always leave the memory card in. So I was looking through one. It was like teenage girl doing shit, teenage girl. Grandpa's funeral. Zoom in on the casket. There's Grandpa. I was like, oh Lord. I'm always like a little nervous and afraid. You never know what you're gonna find in
It's like
people's
Polaroid.
film and digital cameras. You're like, brr.
So these are the true perils of just photography in general, frankly. Why don't we jump right into the highlights, few though they may be, of
First
Polaroid.
of all,
Please.
There's like a beginning story.
Yes.
I swear to you, they said that it is her mom's Polaroid.
They did say that. Well, number one, I thought...
But who the hell is her mom? The daughter of the killer?
Unclear. Or because the actual killer was from the 70s. So when that guy went to death row or whatever the hell happened to him, then that camera, I guess somebody had it and just used it for 30 years and no problems? Is that what we're supposed to think? Unclear.
Makes no sense. At one point, you see him dying and the camera is going into the water. So that would break the camera, friend. If I took my camera and now threw it in a pool and then dug it out, chances are it's
What if it's cursed? Cursed cameras?
Oh, it's one of those curses that makes mold not grow on a camera.
Correct.
I gotcha. It doesn't allow rust on the inside of this. It's a delicate beast, Fred. It doesn't like being jarred. It's not like the box cameras where I can just throw it in my purse.
You have those old school cameras where there's like a person with like a torch in the background just explodes and that's your flash. Right. Dude. You have to stand still for 3 days to get the picture just right.
Magnesium flash. That's for your next birthday party. I do have some old-timey cameras. I would love to have like a magnesium. I'm pretty sure we'd all choke to death on the fumes at the karaoke lounge.
And it would burn the place down. So we'd all perish in flame. Going into this cold, I thought that redheaded chick in the opening thing was the star of this movie because I actually recognized her. Do you know what she's from?
No.
Riverdale.
Oh,
she's one of the lead. Well, do you know what Riverdale is?
Riverdale. Well, first of all, isn't that the Archies?
Yes.
But it's like dark Archies, right?
Correct. It is live action. It is Archie and Veronica and Betty and Jughead and all the gang. But it's like dark. It's live action, and there's like murders and shit going down. There's like all sorts of crazy stuff.
Scooby-Doo. Is that what it is without the van?
Well, and teenagers love it. And I think Luke Perry was on the first couple of seasons before he died.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that.
But the redhead who's in this movie, the opening scene of this movie is because Betty's the blonde, Veronica's the brunette.
The
There was
brunette.
there was a third girl whose name just Blossom or something.
Her name was Velma.
It was not Velma. God damn it, it was not Velma. There was a redhead in the comics who was also kind of another girl that was interested in art.
They all look alike. I think it was Josie from Josie and the Pussycat.
It was not
In the end, I
Sabrina
swear
the
they're all
Teenage
drawn
Witch.
by the same mother effer.
100%. It was Casper the Friendly Ghost. It was there's a redhead. So she, long story short, she's the goddamn redhead from Riverdale. She's the other girl. So I've seen her in stuff, and I thought she was the star, but evidently she was the Drew Barrymore from Scream equivalent, if you will. It's like, oh, here's somebody. Yeah, it's a.
She's like, I'll do your movie, but I'm only going to be in Toronto for a week, and I want this much money. And on my rider, I want Diet Cokes and Oreos every
100%.
hour.
Well, to make it even crazier, the movie, I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, this movie was made in 2017. So it's about the same time as she started on Riverdale. Okay? But the movie didn't come out until 2019, where she'd been on Riverdale for a few years at this point. So this might be a case of, oh, you're kind of recognizable now. We got to release this piece of shit you were in 2 years ago. Is that possible?
I mean, it's Canadian. We
love our neighbors to the north, first of all. Let me just say that.
They can produce some of these banal kind of horror movies.
They can.
Not
100%.
too scary. A lot of pauses. Plenty of time to do your nails.
A lot of pauses.
It's not going to be too frightening. Not going to be too gory. Yeah.
I always think of... there was a movie called Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation, which was made in the early 90s, and it starred an unknown Matthew McConaughey and an unknown Renee Zellweger. Okay? They made this movie. The producers, the executives said, oh, well, this is a piece of shit, and they threw it in the back of the warehouse. Then a couple years later, wouldn't you know it, Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger are huge stars, and they're like, oh shit, dust that off. I think now it's in theaters. What do you think? Right?
But I mean, this is kind of a nothing, but it's not offensive. It's not the new Salem's Lot.
No, right.
That should have been shelved.
100%. This is not a piece of shit. It's not a piece of shit.
It's just not that interesting.
It's like you say, it is banal, if you will, is how we would describe it. It's kind of just like empty calories. You know what I mean? It's like you can sit
a little bit of camera porn. It's empty calories.
100%.
I mean, I didn't buy it. Did you buy it?
No. Is you crazy? I don't know where I watched it. What was it on Tubi? It was on something.
I feel like I had to pay for this motherfucker, but I'm not sure. I even wrote down murder camera. What if he was a baker?
Then it's a murder whisk, right?
No, you know what it is? It keeps showing up. It's going to be a murder peeler.
Oh no, not the peeler.
It takes 6-7 hours to kill the person because they can only take off a slice at a time.
Well, it better be sharp. As far as I know, potato peeler is not that sharp. But
every 5 minutes, the murderer has to take a break to get out the sharpening stones,
the grindstone. Okay. So basically, yes, there's a camera that you take a picture of somebody. Then it spits the little picture out, and there's like a shadow of somebody kind of in the background of these Polaroid pictures, essentially. Right. And that's the kiss that they're dead meat. And I think the first scene, it's like some dude, because the main girl, I guess her dad died in a car accident. Is that what it is? I don't remember. Her dad's dead, and she has a scar on her neck.
Now, this is part 2 of the show starting. So the first one is the girl finds her mom's camera and dies.
Correct.
Then cut to the future,
Right.
and we have a girl with like a sexual asphyxia issue, or her
That's not
father
true.
was.
Not
was it-
true. Not true.
There's something.
Her name was Birdie Fitcher or something like that. Some weird
Dirty
name.
feature.
That was her name.
Oh,
Bird. I don't remember. And she's got a
bird is the
scar on her
word.
neck that she covers with a scarf. So
Right.
people call her the Scarf Girl. For some
Scarfy.
reason.
Scarfy McScarf.
They call her Scarfalicious. And she's kind of socially awkward and yet has a huge group of friends,
Right.
which is an interesting combination.
Who are begging to spend time with her, even though she's a Sour Patch Kid.
She's a total. You're 100%. That's always a weird thing because you can't have the protagonist of your movie be socially awkward and just be home on a Friday night. I'll just be home. I'll be watching reruns of Walker, Texas Ranger. How's that sound? No one's interested in that.
Nobody cares. Crying about my dead family and why it's all my fault.
So she works in an antique shop, or well, it's not an antique shop. What is it? Is it a thrift store?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And the dude who works there, like, is hitting on her and gives her this camera because he knows that she's into photography. She's constantly like, she's stalking the dude that she's interested in by taking his picture while he's like, what the? Looking at her going, why are you taking my picture? That's always a good move.
Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody else is propelling themselves at her.
Yes. Well, she's cute in kind of a pixie-ish sort of way. Is how I would describe it.
Emo way.
100%.
She's an 100%. Emo pixie.
So the first guy that she takes the picture of, there's like this heavy breathing, like shadow thing that jumps out, and then he's killed off camera. Essentially, we don't really get a look at the critter until like the end of the movie. Essentially, because Nova Scotia special effects are not up to snuff.
It's state of the art, Nova Scotia.
They do what they can do.
Are you sure it was the Yukon territory?
it was Regina. It was Regina. Lovely
not
Regina.
Saskatchewan.
No,
all right.
That was Moose
out
Jaw.
of places in Canada.
Yellowknife.
Sicily, Alaska. That's where it was.
Saskatoon. Anyway.
The high school was someone from Saskatoon.
Oh, good stuff. So they figure out that the camera belonged to this murderer who was also the photography teacher at the high school. Essentially, it's as ridiculous.
And there was the initials. The initials are on the box of the camera. So the photography teacher did it. Do you remember the photography teacher at the high school took my wedding pictures and they were so terrible? The mother did.
Was that Mr. McKee?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm not trying to throw.
I never took photography at Palm Springs High School.
I didn't either. So there you go. I just remember going back in time, looking at like the high school yearbooks, and oftentimes you're like, who the hell like edited this? There's like misspellings and weird we got a couple extra pictures. Why don't we just throw them on the page somewhere? We're good. It has like nothing like oversaturated or too dark or too light, or it's like weirdly cropped, and you're like, did the students do this?
That just makes it wacky. Yeah, the students usually do it with an advisor. But nowadays, I think they just send the pictures off to a production house.
Good move. I would say
I think the yearbook club might take the random pictures, and that's about it.
Anywho, there's like twists, and then, oh no, that's not really what it was. They go to investigate. They go to the wife of the murderer, essentially, and she tells the story that the reason why the photography teacher murdered those 4 students, or 3 out of 4, whatever it was, is that he had a special needs child who was into photography, and they drugged her and took advantage of her
and took god-awful pictures of her.
Took horrible pictures of her. So then he kidnapped them, took pictures of them while he slowly murdered them, essentially. That's the first story. Then the second story comes out because the chief of police was the survivor of the 4 kids. This is a reveal. Did you recognize him, by the way?
From the X-Files.
It was
He was the
Director
boss
Skinner.
from the X-Files. I always love Skinner.
Yep, Director Skinner from the X-Files. He was the 4th kid who survived, and he said, no. That's because they were going to take his picture. They thought, oh, if we finish the job for the murderer, if we take the picture of the survivor, maybe...
How about if we just don't put film in the camera? What?
Right,
How about if we just break the camera? Then his hairbrush comes to life and starts haunting people.
They already have had a picture taken of themselves. They took that bizarre selfie at the party, at the costume party, whatever it was. So they're kind of stuck. Like, they're dropping like flies. They're trying to figure out a way to get over it. So the damage is done. They try to destroy...
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
How come some people get their picture took and are dead an hour later, and other people 3 days later are knocking around the high school solving crimes and getting into hijinks?
This is important. Okay. Basically, they took that picture, the selfie, of the 4 of them. Okay, so they're number 1 on the hit list, right? But then somebody else takes the picture and does a selfie of themselves. Now that person jumps to the front of the line. So essentially, anytime somebody gets the picture taken...
Selfies are so offensive to the monster that they must go first.
That is correct.
How about he just goes and kills the people who molested his kid or was bad?
Because that's the reveal. When they're about to take the picture of the sheriff says, no, that's not what happened. We really were her friend. We were trying to help her because it was her father, the photographer, who was the molester and the horrible person. We were trying to help her.
But how do we know we can believe him?
Well,
he could be the unreliable narrator.
He's not murdering anybody. Doesn't that count for something?
We don't know. Maybe he's lying low.
He's biding his time. Is that what you think?
Maybe he learned his lesson after the first time and decided this is not the path I wish to follow.
And he turned to Law and Order after that, is what you're saying.
Where's the Zodiac Killer?
He could still be out there.
He's waiting. He's about 150, but he's waiting.
He's picked. By the way,
this time.
Totally off topic. My eldest daughter, Grace, who you've met.
Yes, I have.
She watched the movie Zodiac, and is now reading the Zodiac books. She's like hooked into the Zodiac, the Zodiac shit, the lore, if you will.
There were some rumors that he had fled to Europe because Italy, Florence, had the Monstre di Firenze, and it was the same kind of a situation. And I can't remember if they caught him, but it was a Lover's Lane killer.
We've never done Zodiac on this show. There is some shit in that. Get out of here, Aaron! How dare you say it was all? There are moments in it that are disturbing and terrifying, as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to. Maybe we do it on the show at some point, but it was like. The scene where it's the guys by the man and woman who are by the lake, and he kind of comes upon them, and he gets at them.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want a deranged lunatic to come running up on me while I'm at the lake with my fella.
Fair. No, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought but it was one of those things where it's like, I know this is real, and therefore it makes it kind of uncomfortable to watch. You know,
according to the new Conjuring, that's also real.
Fair. Well, I watched Fargo. Did I tell you about Fargo? That Fargo starts off with everything you're about to see is true, and it was all fake. They just thought it was funny to put that at the beginning of the movie Fargo.
You're geniuses, because Fargo is a masterpiece.
Anywho, so he says no. He was the bad dude all along because they were just going to take. They were going to take the picture of the sheriff, and they were about to take his picture anyway. When he's like, "No, hey, I don't know why you're taking my picture, but you should know that he was the bad guy. We were trying to help her, and they're like, "Well, we're going to take your picture anyway. Who gives a damn?"
Yeah,
So,
because here's the thing.
please.
How does he know there's something wrong with having your picture took?
He doesn't. He was just like, I don't know why you want to take my picture, but let me tell you the story.
I wish somebody had taken a better picture because they show a yearbook picture of him that looks nothing like him.
Correct.
Does he not have baby pictures they could have done some special effects on?
Oh,
Because
God.
that was the shittiest looking
Yes.
regression that I ever saw in my life.
Well, to make it even worse, when they'd show like the old newspaper clippings, they were clearly brand spanking new with like literally like a digital picture on there. It's like, okay, we could have taken a second pass on this. Those are the moments, particularly when they do kind of these black and white flashbacks that made it look like it was frickin' Saturday morning.
Dude,
on
we only got $25 for all the practical effects and $10 for the props.
Correct. Sweet Jesus. Oh, anything else about Polaroid? I'm ready to pull the ripcord. What you got? Anything?
Oh my God. Take a pie of the mister. What does that mean?
Aaron?
Take a pic of the mister, the monster. Oh yeah, why did they just take a picture of the monster?
That's what they did at the end. That
Yeah,
was
I
the
already
grand...
solved it.
They took
But
the
then
picture.
it wasn't enough. Then she had to crumble it up.
It made no sense because it was like you take the picture of somebody, and the monster comes out and kills them. You take a picture of the monster, nothing happens. It's like I'm still fine. I thought like literally he would have to kill himself or he'd turn to No, he's fine. He's like, oh okay, you took my picture. I'm gonna keep coming, and she has to crinkle it, and then it's like kind of doing that thing where he's all crunched up. Still not dead. And he's like snapping and popping and locking. And he's like, I'm okay again.
He was popping and locking. Yeah, there was some weird stuff. Like they tried to burn the group picture, but then one of the girls caught on fire.
Yes. You couldn't destroy, because they tried to destroy the picture because they thought if we destroy the picture, then we don't have to worry about the monster coming to get us. But yes, they were caught on, girl's arm was caught on fire. Other girl's hand is like bursting into flames. It's a whole thing. Makes no juice.
It was a whole thing of ding dong daddy-o stuff. That's what it was a whole thing of. It just wasn't that interesting.
I agree. Shall we move on with our lives and go behind the scenes?
Let's do it. I'm already trying to line up. You're going to make me talk about our viewers.
This is my favorite part. We do like the behind the scenes of the show where we're still kind of figuring things out. Let's roll the camera, shall we? The camera used in the movie is a Polaroid SX70. Whenever it is used in the trailer, the distinctive sound of a charging flash gun is heard, followed by a pop and visible flash when the picture is taken. However, the SX70 has no flash built in, and there is no flash attachment fitted onto the camera. So, this particular one did not have those little flash bulbs or whatever those things are.
Yeah. And logic, why mess with that?
Why indeed. The plot of the film is nearly identical to an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark from 1990, titled The Tale of the Curious Camera from 1994.
Good Lord.
Yeah, they're just ripping this stuff off. Catherine Prescott, who plays Bird, is a professional photographer in real life.
Oh, well. Yeah. Then why didn't you say, hey, that's not a thing?
You wonder about that stuff, right? Bird was also the name of one of the kids in a Goosebumps episode called Say Cheese and Die, which features a similar plot from 1996. Oh my God. Sweet Jesus. Let's see. The Pentax camera she uses isn't a telephoto, so it zooms in far more than it should.
Absolutely. It was nonsense.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out which kind it was. I think I had one like that at one time. But I sold it off Facebook Marketplace because it had a fungus growing in the viewfinder.
Oh, good stuff. See, maybe it was cursed.
It was cursed. Cursed with a fungus.
The movie was filmed in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Canada at the Prince Andrew High School.
Dude, right? Canada.
See?
No doubt. It smelled Canadian.
It absolutely does. Additional photography was filmed in Los Angeles in June of 2017, weeks before the original release date. The movie was then shelved indefinitely. Boom. They said, no thanks. Let's look at the cast and crew, shall we?
Let's do that.
This was written and directed by Lars Klevberg. You know him from such things as Polaroid, the original short. Oh, he directed Child's Play 2019, the remake.
I was like, oh, Child's Play? Oh, the remake.
The remake in 2019. He directed Polaroid in 2019. And he was second unit director on The Worst Person in the World in 2021. How's that sound?
Sounds terrible. Sounds just terrible.
Let's look at the cast, shall we? Catherine Prescott played Bird Fitcher. You know her from such things as Skins. It's a TV series from 2009 and 2013.
Oh,
She was in 19 episodes. She was in A Dog's Journey in 2019. I remember that. There were a bunch of those movies about like the dogs in the pound this week. Who's the first owner of this dog and who's the second owner of this dog? They're very upsetting movies.
Good Lord.
Yep. She directed the short movie called Jane. And
About Jane Austen?
Could be. Unclear.
Jane stopped this crazy thing called love.
She was also played Anna in To the Bone in 2017. Unfamiliar. Let's see. Tyler Young played Connor Bell, the good-looking guy that she's stalking. You know him from 10 episodes of Eyewitness in 2016.
Never heard of that.
He was in Polaroid in 2019.
I bet he was.
He was in one episode of When We Rise in 2017.
Don't know.
And one episode of Code Black in 2017.
Okay. Interesting.
Let's see. I'm just going to go to people I recognize.
Let's do that. Let's try that. That might be interesting.
Mitch Pileggi played Sheriff Pembroke.
Yeah.
You know him from 1992. He was in Basic Instinct in 1992. How about that? That's Internal Affairs investigator.
Were his time, man.
He was in 91 episodes of The X-Files from 94 to 2018. Boom.
2018?
Yep. They had the
reboot?
The reboot. He was in the movie The X-Files, I Want to Believe, in 2008.
Dude, people don't know the X-Files was a phenomena.
And he was the titular character in the movie Shocker in 1998. That was a Wes Craven
I thought the
movie.
Shocker was 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink.
It's entirely possible it has more than one meaning. Grace Zabriskie, she's a real person. She was in this. She played the wife of the serial killer. You know her from Inland Empire in 2006.
I feel I saw that.
These are all like
just
David
about
Lynch.
people living in Riverside or
something like that. She was in Wild at Heart in 1990. She was in Armageddon in 1998, and she was in The Grudge in 2004.
Do you know I love The Grudge?
These are real movies. This was the American, not the Japanese classic. Madeline Petch played Sarah. She's the redhead who gets killed at the beginning of the movie. You know her for 131 episodes of Riverdale, playing Cheryl Blossom. She was in she was in Sightless in 2020, and more recently she was in The Strangers Chapter 1 in 2024.
Oh, I didn't like The Strangers. The Strangers was scary.
We have not done it on the show. Add it to the list.
Random acts of violence.
I think that's about it. There are other people that seem vaguely familiar, but not familiar enough. let's look
They're
at the
huge in White Fang.
White Fang is not a real place, by the way. That's a Jack London novel. But that's neither here nor there. Let's look at the rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Sadly, no rating.
No rating.
There's only 4
Nobody
reviews.
walking out said it was at least a C.
There was 4 reviews, none by top critics. Do you know what the audience gave it?
20%?
29%.
Ooh.
How about that? I'm just gonna look. There's 4 reviews that are non-top critics. I'm gonna read one. How about that?
All right.
William Bibiani from Bloody Disgusting says, "So underdeveloped, you'll want to shake it."
Shake it like a Polaroid. But we don't shake Polaroids.
0.5 out of 5. How about that? Now,
Seems fair.
you may think, what are we gonna do? There are no real critics, but we do have one critic that we can always count
Ooh.
on. Let me
All
tell you.
right. AI Rex Reed, come on down.
It is our resident critic here. Let's hear what he has to say. Polaroid is a dreary snapshot of teen horror cliches where the cursed camera has more personality than its cast, and the only thing truly developed is your regret for sitting through it.
Boom. Next, you need to get ChatGPT to use his voice, and then eventually we'll just have like a whole fake Rex Reed. sitting
Another
next to
face
him.
will pop in and it'll be
Yeah,
Max Headroom looking like Rex Reed.
an occasional glitch.
Glitch.
That's
Aaron,
the AI that we need.
what is your rating for Polaroid?
I feel like the top critics, quite frankly, it's just a nothing. It's just a nothing. It's not offensive. It's obviously they lost interest because they couldn't bother to come up with just basic facts. I'm gonna give it a Canadian 2.5.
A Canadian 2.5. Interesting. Oh, sweet Jesus.
It's not as strong as an American 2.5.
No. Sad but true. I'm going to give it 2. I thought about giving it 1.5. It's just it's utterly forgettable is how I would describe it. It
It's
is
not
very much.
offensive. It's just like,
We
I
said
had to
it
sit
before.
here. I
Go
wrote
ahead.
down 6 lines of notes, and I didn't review them before we started. And I was like, "What happened in that movie?"
Correct.
Because it's already gone.
100%. 100%. Look, it's not a total shit show. It's not a flaming dumpster
But it's
fire.
not Weapons either. Let's just say.
Well, clearly
that.
not. Clearly not. It's basically like we said before. It is a feature-length version of a Goosebumps episode. Is what it looks like.
There's no earthworms. I feel like if it was Goosebumps, there'd be earthworms in our bed or something, and that would be an improvement. Whatever
That would be
this
an
is.
improvement. So there you have it.
Mm.
Anyway,
Oh,
any
you
last
have it.
thoughts? Any last thoughts about Polaroid? Or can we get
Dude,
on with our lives?
my last thoughts of Polaroid
Please.
vanished about 2 weeks ago.
Can't say as I blame you. So, thank you very much. We are across the interwebs as we speak. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. You can watch us on YouTube. Ooh la la.
You can
You
see my camera that I held up. Isn't that exciting?
Absolutely. Otherwise, you'll just have to use your imagination, and who wants to do that? Is my attitude. You know what I'm saying? So
Our AR overlords would not appreciate
they
that.
would not. You can also email us the podcast that wouldn't die at
Gmail.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So check out that good stuff. Don't forget
You
to
probably should.
You should. Don't forget to like, share, rate, and review, won't you?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
Have we lost our order? Do we do my social media before we talk about our viewers?
Yes, this is the way we've done it for 317 episodes.
Oh my god, that many.
That's more than
That's
that now,
like-
actually.
Oh my god. My media, I mean, I'm all over. I'm here, I'm there. There's a growing list of where I'm not. But just go to the Instagram. I run our TikTok. I run our Instagram. And then my personal Instagram is the Cult of Aaron. Join the cult. And hit me up if you got any good cult documentaries that I haven't seen yet. Because I feel like I've seen them all. So I think America's ready for a new cult.
Fair. Fair. As you know, we like to share our friends and families' thoughts and feelings across the interwebs. Aaron, what's the street saying? What's the word?
I got some biz this time from real people. In regards to Jaws the Revenge, James Beasley says, "Oh no, please don't tell me that movie is going to be retroactively considered good. Fear not.
Fear
Fear
not.
not. That will never happen." In regard to our latest drop on The Stepfather, Leo from Voluntary Input commented on a photo. Says, "I've loved this movie since 1987, but have never considered it a horror movie, and I love horror. I've always considered it a psychological thriller." Oh my God, I guess I should have copied the whole comment, not just part of it. God damn it. What's the matter with me?
And that's our friend Leo. You can't do Leo
That's
like
our
that.
friend Leo. Here we go. Psychological about a serial killer, and the fact that he didn't move far actually makes sense. I've always heard that most serial killers strike within 20 to 50 or hit more miles radius. Great episode as usual. Thank you, bro. And I said, it's totally a docudrama.
100%.
It is. Yeah, as we said in the podcast, it's the John List story. It's a
100%.
docudrama.
It's good stuff. It is. I whenever I've had multiple people approach me on the internet saying, "Stepfather, I love it." My response is always, "It's a lot better than you'd expect walking in the door."
Hell
It is
yeah.
legit. It's legit.
I literally just never saw it, but I know my killers, my cult
Serial
leaders.
otherwise,
I know it, serial or otherwise, family exploders. If you go on the run and come up with a new family, I'm watching that.
You're watching, no question.
Or if you're an influencer that goes wrong, I'm watching that too.
There's a lot more examples of that, I'm sad to say. Next
Now.
week, we are going science fiction, post-apocalyptic. We're doing the Sean Connery classic, Zardoz. And I believe like Charlotte Rampling's in this as well, and other
Oh my
people.
God. You
It's
know, I
awesome.
do love the Sean Connery, but I have to say I am unfamiliar with this little treasure that you're laying out in front of me.
Oh, it remains.
What
to
is
be
it,
seen.
Dr. Zardonica? What is
It's
this
not
movie?
Dr. Zardonica, it's Zardoz. So there's a twist at the end, which I will not spoil at this very moment.
Is the twist that Sean Connery sues the production company?
He should. At least for his costumes, and you'll see what I mean. So, how do you watch Zardoz? Well, I got a
there's
little
a
treat for you.
question.
It is free with subscription on Prime Video. How about that?
Oh, well, at least
about
something's
that?
still free on Prime after my $200. Because did you notice that shipping is now not free on Prime?
Then why do I still have Prime?
That's what I'm saying.
What the hell kind of BS?
Isn't that the whole reason to go to Prime? Well, why am I mean, you can order the same shit on Walmart. Now they have a $25 minimum.
Those sons of bitches. Anywho,
If I want to order one nickel thing a day, that's what my $200 is paying for. It's enough that the free movies on Prime have commercials that you can't skip.
It drives me crazy.
Bastard.
Or you could just buy Zardoz for $5. How about that? And then you own it forever.
Yeah.
It might be worth it. So, check out Zardoz. Send in your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may talk about it on the show. So, thank you very much, and be well.
Be well. But not you, fucking Jeff Bezos.